Cliff Carnicom as complicit in disinfo. This is a complicated story, so it's going to take me some time to do this. Simply in this video, the point I'm making is that the Space Preservation Act of 2001, which was introduced by Dennis Kucinich. This is the legislation that was introduced in 2001 by Dennis Kucinich, which was going to quote-unquote ban weapons in space, including quote-unquote chemtrails, and the law included the word chemtrails, quote-unquote. Now, I am exposing the fact that that was disinfo, that this is all disinfo, okay? But because this is so complicated, I'm going to have to introduce this piece by piece, and in this piece, I'm simply making the point that the guy Carnicom talked to in this recent interview, named Alfred Webre, this guy, nobody knows, nobody is exposing who this guy is, what his background is, what he's done. I'm exposing that. This guy that Clifford Carnicom was talking to, giving an interview, this guy, Alfred Webre, wrote the Space Preservation Act. And you're not supposed to know that. You're supposed to believe that Dennis Kucinich wrote it. But that's false. Alfred Webre wrote it, and he approached Dennis Kucinich to introduce it. Okay? This was part of the long-term disinfo campaign of discrediting. It's all about discrediting, and I will explain that, but I have to get all the documentation together, and this documentation is that this guy Webre wrote the Space Preservation Act, not Kucinich. And this was all part of the discrediting act, the discrediting operation. Okay? Now, in this interview, this interview is targeted at the quote-unquote chemtrail community, and you are being duped by these disinfo agents. Okay, first of all, Carnicom never discusses the Space Preservation Act because you dupes are supposed to believe that Kucinich wrote it. You're supposed to just believe that this is some random interview. You don't know who this guy is. You don't know the fact that this guy Webre is a mega super elite. He's one of the top most elite people in the whole world. You don't know that. And he runs a UFO cult. You also don't know that. But I'll have to disentangle that story, this story. And this is disinfo. But the point is, Webre wrote the Space Preservation Act of 2001, not Dennis Kucinich.